Hey guys, this is the Auto Enthusiast, and today we're looking at the 2012 Cadillac CTS all-wheel drive performance coupe. We're going to do an in-depth review, we're going to check out the interior, do a startup, and a road test. Stay tuned. 2012 Cadillac CTS4 all-wheel drive performance coupe has a 3.6-liter direct injection V6 engine. It has 318 horsepower and 275 pounds-per-feet of torque. The curb weight of this bulky coupe is around 4,096 pounds. It can go to 0 to 60 in just 5.5 seconds. This model is the performance trim that includes a performance suspension and 19-inch wheels. The all-wheel drive aspect provides this car with both added control and stability. This particular coupe is indistinguishably a Cadillac. The lack of curbs, massive, boxy, sharp rear, and classic Cadillac layout gives it a sporty and also traditional look. It is a very aggressive-looking car. The dual exhaust has a lot of aesthetic appeal, making the oversized rear quite attractive. This coupe has a tan interior that makes the driver feel like they are in a classic Cadillac. The CTS coupe doesn't have traditional door handles. The button release doors are a nice feature. Like many coupes, when the door is opened and closed, the window automatically slides down and up to avoid catching. Like the exterior, to get out of the car, there is a little button release. The steering wheel is quite large and rather simple. It isn't really what you would expect in a performance coupe. Being in a Cadillac, it does have some classic features, like an analog clock. It also has a rather luxurious feel. With high-quality features, this car is a very comfortable car to be in. The shifter knob, however, doesn't have much visual appeal. The doors are quite simple, with minimal controls, and this coupe does have a Bose audio system. Interior space is pretty good as coupes go. The glove compartment is rather large. You can keep your manual, papers, and other equipment in there. There is also a small ashtray, but it seems to serve very little purpose. The cup holders are very small and wouldn't be able to hold anything large. The armrest compartment is pretty large. It can fit essential everyday items. There is also a rather spacious compartment in the actual armrest itself. The car will recognize that you have the key fob on your person. You then can turn the extruded key. This is the cameraman, Gustavo, and as you can see, it is a bit tricky getting into the back seat. The seat belt is awkwardly placed. The back seat is horizontally spacious, but lacks key leg and headroom. It is larger than many other coupes, but less comfortable, due to the lack of arm support. Behind each seat is the button to move the seat forward and backward. This is a nice feature. It also has the lever to collapse the front seat. The trunk is rather large. It isn't incredibly tall, but it makes up for it in depth. When the car is turned on or put in reverse, the screen will come out. This is a nice feature. The gauges are extremely sporty and attractive. The interior is pretty small. You know, it's a very large car, so you assume that you're going to get in here and it's going to be huge, and you have a lot of space and it'll be comfortable. And it is comfortable, but it is very small. As you can see, my head is very close to the ceiling, and the visibility in this car is next to zero. I have massive blind spots, and the back, seeing out the back is okay, but it's something you would see in a lot smaller coupe. So visibility is you know, I wish there was more. I wish I was able to see the car a little bit more. But other than that, I'm very comfortable. I feel like I'm in a Cadillac. It feels like every other Cadillac that I've ever been in. I'm very comfortable. The seats, I have absolutely no complaints. You don't have that many adjustments on the seats, but they're fantastic. They're very comfortable. They're not bucket seats, but they're equivalent to like an Audi seat. They're very comfortable. The wheel is very large, especially when you're as a driver sitting here. It's really large. It's not something you can overlook. It's larger than most cars. And it's like, I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's comfortable to hold. The layout of everything else, I think it's a little low. I'd rather have my arms kind of up here. It's a little low, especially because if I were to like be any higher, I'd be here. And it's this, from where my arm is, the actual shifter knob is a little far away. But I mean, if you're not looking to be like in the Shiftronic manual mode, you're not like all the time, I think it'll be okay. Yeah, this car can be comfortable in long distances, but again, if you're tall, I'm only 5'8", my head is like nearly touching the ceiling. If you're tall, it might be a bit of a squeeze. We're going to take a look at what this thing has for acceleration. We're going to get out here, and here we go. You know, this thing has some great pickup. There's a little bit of lag in the acceleration, but overall it has some great pickup. It really feels like a V6. It doesn't feel, it obviously does, it's not a turbo, it doesn't feel like a turbo. It doesn't get great low-end torque, but that can be expected. Overall, it had a great sound when accelerating, and it had some nice pickup. It kind of threw you back into the seat. I'm actually surprised for such a heavy car and such a bulky car. It had some nice pickup there. Overall driving feel, it's okay. I feel like I'm driving a heavy car, which a lot of people don't like, and some people do like. Now turning is a little weird in this car. When you see that it's a coupe and a performance coupe and all-wheel drive, you expect it to have pretty good turning. And what I've noticed is Cadillac has done a nice job engineering the balance of the car, because there's some actual great turning and handling and overall feel. There's no body sway. I can really like give it some gas during turns and be comfortable with the car. It's also very predictable, which is nice. I didn't expect that, especially with a heavy car. You see a lot of heavy performance coupes, like Bentleys even, that aren't very predictable, and this is a very predictable car. I know exactly what it's going to do. We're going to give it a little bit of gas right here and see what it's like. So the shifting is a little bit slow. There's a little bit of lag in the shifting, which isn't terrible, but it does, you can definitely feel it affects the performance, and the car kind of jerks around a little bit. But again, the performance is great. I really didn't expect it from this car. I just associated this car with a big, heavy chunk of frame, and it's actually got some great pickup. We're coming up to a U-turn here, and I'm going to go around the U-turn and give it a little bit of gas around the U-turn just to feel how the body is. So there's definitely, you can feel that it's a heavy car, because it does, around that U-turn I did feel like it was a heavy car. Which was I mixed feelings about. It kind of was a nice feeling for some reason, just because you know that the car is coming around the turn with a little bit of power, and you can feel the car trying to shift its weight, which is a nice feeling. But it's also, you're like, you sit back and say, this has the same performance as lighter coupes. Why is this different? Why can the lighter coupe
scoot around this turn, what does this car offer? And what I think overall is this car offers kind of a luxury coupe. You know, it is a Cadillac, you get that Cadillac feel, and you definitely feel it in the drive. The only downside that I can see with this car right now, other than okay performance, is I can't see myself spending a long time in this car. I've been in it for a couple minutes now, actually like 20 minutes, and I'm already a little uncomfortable. It's a fun car to drive, but I don't think I would recommend this car if you are going on road trips. Like my back is a little hurting. It hurts a little bit. I don't know whether that's because I don't have the seat adjusted right or something like that. It would take a little while to learn how to be comfortable in this car, and that's the only downside I can really see. So my overall feel with this car is that I definitely feel like I'm sitting in luxury, which is nice. It is a performance coupe. I do feel like I'm going fast. It doesn't give the performance that I expected from Cadillac, but it's still a fun car to drive. It responds really well handling-wise. There's not a lot of visibility in the car, but I think you can get used to that. I certainly did. And again, I can't say enough that I feel like I'm in a luxury car, and it's quite nice. The layout is very well designed. I feel like I'm in a Cadillac, especially if you're somebody that has liked Cadillacs, likes them, has owned them. This is definitely a car to check out. In the streets, you definitely know it's a Cadillac. There's no mistaking it. And even in the interior, you know it's a Cadillac. Overall, it's a pretty nice car. You know, it's fun to drive.
I would like to thank Tony down at Bessemer Motors for providing us with this vehicle to review today. His contact information will be in the description. Again, thanks for watching, guys.